Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a great and wonderful day. Well, it is hilarious to see that we have these pro-Palestinian people really going out and showing their actual grievances over the whole situation in Palestine. We're not going to talk about how the whole Iran situation is going, right? And how this is what they're doing with their drones and whatnot. We're not going to ignore that. We're going to ignore that, right? But we're not going to worry about. But we're going to worry about this person here. So apparently, we have this here. It says, "Woman arrested after threats against Bakersfield City Council will murder you." Well, she says more than just that, by the way, because she used pretty derogatory language, cussed a bit, which I don't really care about the language. But here's one thing that people are going to need to start understanding here, is that they go out and do this, and they do these protests, and they attack people and stuff like that, and we expect that these people are the kind, wonderful people that they wanted us to seem that they are, but they're really not. So without further ado, my friends, here is the actual clip in question.
Breaking story, a pro-Palestine protester charged with threatening to murder Bakersfield City Council members was in court today.
"You guys want to criminalize us with metal detectors? We'll see you at your house. We'll murder you."
Ms. Patel, that was a threat, what you said at the end, and so the officers are going to escort you out and take care of that.
On Wednesday, Riddhi Patel was escorted from the city council meeting after threatening council members who were weighing a Gaza ceasefire resolution. They also expressed outrage over the presence of new metal detectors at City Hall. They were booked on 8 counts of intent to terrorize and threatening state officials with a $2 million bond. Today, Patel pleaded not guilty. Pro-Palestinian activism groups United Liberation Front condemned the behavior. Patel is now due back in court April 27.
A deputy public defender entered not guilty pleas on Patel's behalf to 8 counts of threatening a public official and 10 counts of making terroristic threats. She's due back in court later this.
The one thing I found hilarious about all this is that she's actually crying over the cause of her actions. It's hilarious. You get what you deserve, and I think this needs to happen to a lot more of these protesters. Now, don't get me wrong, I think that these people are allowed to say whatever they want to normal people, threaten people's lives and whatnot, but not get in trouble. But of course, as a city council, they're the ones that are a threat, so they get charged. Nonetheless, these people have been deemed to be shown violent. They have killed people already. They killed an elderly man. They do things that are push their cause. Now, I'm going to show one more video here of them pretty much just showing the full context and the full thing of what she said. She didn't say we'll just murder you. She said we'll effing murder you in a sense, right? That's what she pretty much said. And without further ado, my friends, here's the clip.
Reached a boiling point.
And I hope one day somebody brings the guillotine and kills all of you mother.
That was a threat, what you said at the end, and so the officers are going to escort you out and take care of that.
After those words, 28-year-old Riddhi Patel was escorted out of the meeting and arrested by police. Councilman and Vice Mayor Andre Gonzalez says things have gone too far.
To have that type of a threat in that type of public setting is completely inappropriate, unproductive, and it's deeply concerning.
Last month, the city increased security measures at meetings, leaving many questioning the timing, including Patel.
You guys want to criminalize us with metal detectors? We'll see you at your house. We'll murder you.
Gonzalez says her threats prove the measures are needed now more than ever.
Personally, I think it's warranted. The city can't function, City Hall and City Council cannot function during a public council meeting if we're continuously being disrupted.
Patel was arrested on 8 felony counts of threatening with intent to terrorize and bail set at $1 million. Gonzalez says threats will not make the council move towards a resolution.
Sit at the table like adults and exchange ideas and go back and forth and really try to figure out how we can find a path together. But it's not making real threats. threats, violent threats to elected officials, to decision makers. That is not the way to influence others. Nobody on the city council will be intimidated to action.
Pro-Palestinian group, the United Liberation Front, said in a statement it, quote, condemns any statements that threaten public officials and that the statements by Patel, quote, counter to our values and do not represent United Liberation Front.
Whew, man, that was spicy, isn't it? Man, really go out with the full bars there. Whoa. Well, anywho, let me address some of my opinions on this. I'll probably make this 8 minutes and just call it off here. But let's be honest here. These people have been shown to be violent. These people don't really care about the others that's happening in our country. Because we've seen it time and time again, where they'll close down bridges, close down streets, close down everything, just so they can make their point to have the Free Palestine. You know what's not going to help your cause, you idiots? Is if, well, one, if you're doing this type of, like, type of stuff where, you're threatening people, but also when you're disrupting people's lives as well. There's a lot of idiots thinking that, oh, if we just disrupt these people's lives instead of talking to them like normal human beings without threats, they'll change their mind. They'll want to advocate for our side. No, you idiots. That's not what's going to happen. It's going to do the opposite. Because people have lives and they're trying to feed their families. Do you realize when you block streets, block roads, you're blocking like ambulances, medical procedures and stuff like that, or not medical procedures, but people that need to go get medical help or stuff like that, you're having them actually end up dying or what have you. Say for instance you block a road and then somebody dies because you're trying to get to the hospital in time and you caused a death there. And I said it in my videos before that these people that cause death or any type of, or somebody gets fired should be immediately sued and then or jailed for that. And I mean, mostly when they're in jail, they should be jailed if somebody dies by trying to get to the hospital because they blocked the road. All those people should be jailed for attempted murder or, no, actual murder because that's what they did. You guys don't get the right to block freeways, do this, and force people to comply by disrupting their lives and expect people to go onto your side. No, that's not going to happen. It's going to do the exact opposite. The only thing that's going to end up doing is going to make people angry, not want to follow you, and it's not how that works. But this is how you people operate. This is not a surprise to anyone. And he's right. It's not going to shift people onto your side. And I really want another thing for people to understand as well. This is Bakersfield. You do realize that going to Bakersfield or any other place for that matter, that's in California or that's in New York or in Chicago or what have you, in these places, you do realize that it is not going to change or help the fact that you're going to have Free Palestine or whatever. That has to be done at the federal level. People of these lower courts, especially in a singular state, does not have the power to do Free Palestine. It's not going to work. It won't help. It doesn't do anything. It will only do something at your local level. It won't do something at a federal level. But of course, these idiots don't understand that. And these idiots, at the same time, are also the ones trying to force things to other people. The same thing. Okay. And then now we're one final point. They're saying like, oh, well, threats and stuff like that is not going to change opinions or what have you. Well, then what are we doing with the trans people? Because the trans people, again, are doing the similar things. They're trying to make lists of demands, force people to change to their ideology, etc., and you are expecting things to, change. This is the reality with the far left. They're insane, batshit insane, and they need help. Anywho, I find it hilarious that this person was arrested. I am absolutely ecstatic, and I can't wait to see what the actual case is. I think the setting, I think she should have no bail and just rot a little bit for a couple of years in prison. That might actually put fear into them because they'll try to change their tune. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, guys, share. As always, take care, my friends.